Whose stock rose? Whose fell? And which picks do we regret? The Starters Fantasy Draft Spectacular starts now!
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to the Starters Fantasy Basketball Draft Review. Whether you're listening to the podcast or catching us on NBA TV, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, it's Tass Mellis.
My team is in first place.
To Tass's left, you're right at home, the Aussie, Lee Ellis.
I too am in first place.
Excellent. All of us in first place. And as you can see, we are without the services once again of Trey Kirby, who probably hasn't slept in 3 or 4 days thanks to that little bundle of joy right there in the Starters onesie, which I actually own and wear frequently. All right, different format here for tonight's show. We are going to take a look at our recent fantasy basketball draft. We're going to get into regretful picks, where the rookies fell, and we'll answer a few of your fantasy basketball questions later in the show. And also, I'm going to throw this out there. I want a fantasy basketball trade to happen during this show.
Let's do it.
So I know we're all in first place right now, but Lee, is there anyone or any position you need to fill? Anyone you want to get rid of?
Yeah,
I mean, take a look at your squad there.
I'm a bit thin here at small forward. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I can work with it.
Good.
It's going to make some
I've only
riveting
got
television.
Giannis as one small forward. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Riveting television, a trade hopefully will happen during this show. But let's get to the sort of scoring and the settings of the Starters Fantasy League. 12 teams. We're going with your default 9 categories there on Yahoo: field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3-pointers made, points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and turnovers. The rosters, your default settings. We're going head-to-head. I know some of you play rotisserie, but head-to-head.
It's more fun.
It's much more fun. It keeps you a little bit more engaged.
Let me take you through the most important part, our fantasy names.
Yeah.
Inspired by the Utah Jazz's Rudy Gobert, I went with Nudie Gobert. Lee, inspired by the Doors, went with the Diaz.
Yep.
Trey, inspired by transporting beans, went bag of Beanos. And Skeets went with Gorgie Jenga.
That's right. So, how did the draft order play out? Well, Trey, he wins a baby and he wins the number 1 pick in the Starters Fantasy
Rigged.
League in a week. He got the first pick. Lamorne Morris of New Girl, second pick. Kristen Ledlow of Inside Stuff got the third pick. Tassie, fourth. JD, our director, fifth. Joe Mandy, stand-up comedian, very funny guy, writer for Parks and Rec, sixth pick. Lee, you got the number 7th. Matty O, our producer, 8. Lance Fresh, NBA style guru, gets the 9th pick. My buddy Grish, who really is just my buddy Grish. He's of no one of importance, though he is the reigning champ
Yes.
from last season. That's why we invited him. I got the 11th pick. And Andy Barron's there, Yahoo fantasy expert. So, look, I don't really care.
Not an easy league.
I don't care if I beat Tass or Lee. I just want to beat the fantasy expert in Andy. Let's get to the picks, though. And we're going to start. The big question going into this, right, guys, was where would Kevin Durant fall?
Yeah.
And you see it there. Trey goes with LeBron first. Then Anthony Davis went. Steph Curry. Tass, you took James Harden. But Durant
Over KD.
going 5th. Kevin Love going 6th. And just to finish the first round, Lee going with Russell Westbrook. Obviously, the KD injury coming into play. We'll get to that in a
sure.
second. Then Chris Paul, Carmelo, Serge Ibaka at the 10th spot. I went with DeMarcus Cousins. And Andy taking John Wall. But let's get to that whole sort of Durant angle. He goes 5th in ours. I know he's probably going somewhere in a lot of your leagues out there, maybe even a little higher. I was a little surprised he actually went 5th. That was a little high.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are taking him at the 6th spot. And yeah, I grimaced when I got the call at the 4 spot and I had to decide between KD. A lot of people picking Chris Paul at that spot.
Right.
Because at the time we made our draft, we weren't really sure how long KD was going to be out.
true.
It was a little closer to 6 weeks, but since he's come out and said, I'm taking my time.
And they're not going to rush him.
Oh, definitely not. Why would on earth would they would do that? They're not messing around, but no one in our league is messing around, so I couldn't just wait for Kevin Durant to come back. No, I had to go out and I picked James Harden over Chris Paul because I'm a little worried about Chris Paul's minutes and giving Blake a little bit more run. So I went with James Harden because I know Chandler Parsons gone, Jeremy Lin gone. He is going to run that show from the backcourt on that team.
So I was terribly surprised. Not only, I understand the James Harden. You went with him over Chris Paul, but Lee, you even passed on Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And went with Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul falling to 8th in our draft.
Yeah, I'm just a little concerned about his durability. He missed 20 games last season, and I really think Russell Westbrook, his first month of the season, he could put up just crazy numbers.
Will you trade high on Russell Westbrook?
Well, that's one of the strategies as well.
That's
You take a guy like that and you hope someone's prepared to overpay for him, and that's part of my thinking. But Chris Paul, I mean, he's a fantastic fantasy player when he does play, but I'm just a little bit concerned. He's now getting on a little bit into his career where Doc Rivers might start to look about resting him, but when he is out on the floor, there's absolutely no question about his productivity.
Is Chris Paul one of those fantasy players that you don't like having because he's too good?
Sometimes, yeah.
He's too safe a pick. You know what he's
understand
going to put up. His
Yeah.
numbers are ridiculous. Low turnovers, great percentages, but never the spectacular numbers. He's a little difficult to root for in fantasy.
It absolutely
at times.
happens in fantasy basketball. I think it's, I think his numbers are going to be incredible, but I think a lot of people with Anthony Davis are thinking that way. He's just such a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Of course, he is going to fill all of the categories, and the defense is going to be huge. But I know it comes into play with my fantasy picks. It's like, do I want to cheer for this guy? Like, and back him every night?
Absolutely.
Like, you just get some guys, and not that Chris Paul really is that guy, but you get some guys where you're just like, yeah, the stats are great, but it's not that flashy. It's weird, but it's true.
And that's, again, what I had with Westbrook. I love watching this guy play.
Right.
I love watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play. So
You also love turnovers, apparently, because you're going to lead the
But you
league
know
in
what?
that.
That's the thing. Like, I don't care about turnovers. And I know field goal percentage of Russell's probably going to come down as well. But I just love watching a guy and having him on my team, and you're cheering for him. And, you do get a bit selfish sometimes in these games. You're like, jack that three-pointer. Let's get going.
You want a guy, you're sitting in this fantasy GM chair, you want a guy to exceed expectations.
Yeah.
With a Chris Paul, he's going to be the 4th, 5th, 6th best player in fantasy, but you want to be the smart guy sitting there in your GM chair thinking, oh, James Harden's going to have a spectacular year. He's going to have a better year than Chris Paul because he's got just a bit of a higher ceiling because he can do and will do a little bit more.
You have a fantasy basketball chair?
Yeah, of course.
You sit in it once a year? Or is that...
That's sofa chair. No.
Okay.
I'm leaning
Just a
forward,
chair.
I'm hunching. I'm all over it.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Are you going to trade Westbrook here, Lee? Because I do want a trade to happen. I wasn't kidding about that.
Well, again, if someone's prepared to pay for him,
you
and
want a
his
small
price
forward?
is high at the moment, Tassie.
Yeah. Small forward, I've got Nicola Batum to offer.
He's a great fantasy player.
That is
I
correct.
do like Nicola Batum, yeah.
Okay, while you guys discuss this during the break, we're going to take a break.
My assistant GM.
Yeah, that's very funny. Lots more still to come on the show, of course. We're going to continue to look at the draft that we had. We'll get into the Greek Freak and Christopher Bosch, and whether or not Josh Smith was a 5th round reach. Tassie, taking him a little high, so come on back. You're watching The Starters.
I believe in Stan Van.
Traveling man, doing all that I can.
Welcome back to The Starters Fantasy Draft Spectacular. During the break, I want to let you know Nicholas Batum's name being thrown around by Tass Mellis. Lee and Tass trying to make a trade happen during the show.
You've got Damian Lillard on your team.
Yeah.
You don't want 2 Blazers.
No.
Dame for Batum.
Whoa!
Well, that's big. I am pretty heavy.
It's a
at
loaded
point guard.
trade.
Yeah, I like Lillard though. He's going to be huge this year. But
Let's keep
we all
workshopping
like
it.
but
Let's keep
Batum, I do need a
workshopping
small
it.
forward. But
Keep working on it, guys. All right, we're going to show you our entire teams later in the show, but now that you guys have a chance to look at your rosters and look at actually how the draft unfolded, is there anyone in particular that you maybe, quote-unquote, reached on, took a little too early when, again, you look back at it?
Oh, yeah. I knew I was reaching on Josh Smith, but I loved every second of it. He had a bad basketball season last year, almost record bad. But is he a bad basketball player? No. He's a good player with bad habits, and now he's got a good coach to pair with his good habits. Yes, he is going to turn him around. I believe Stan Van Gundy can turn Josh Smith around. He can turn my fantasy season around. Josh Smith is a gem of a fantasy basketball player. These are the guys that can win you leagues, and that's why I reached. And Stan Van has sat down with him to try and get away from those numbers that he had last year, to stop shooting the 3 ball. He sat down with him and said, you are going into the post. He also showed him video of him jogging back on defense multiple times last year. He knows that Josh Smith is better than that. There's a great report in the Detroit Free Press by Perry Farrell just about the breakdown between Stan Van and Josh. And this is one time analytics can come in handy, because Stan Van said to him, listen, you shot 28% from three-point land, but you're 78% by the rim.
Right.
Yeah.
So you expect the field goal percentage to go up under Stan Van,
everything
the
across
defensive
the board.
numbers.
Across the board. Defense, I think he's going to care a little bit more. I reach big time by about 20 picks, but I don't care. I think these are the types of guys, if they come out to perform, a 28-year-old. I mean, he's not over the hill. It just feels like he's been around forever. But at the same time, he can win you a league.
if you get the guy he was a couple of years ago, he's a huge fantasy player. It's just
Exactly.
last season his numbers went down so bad it really affected his draft stock.
I think I reached a little bit on Chris Bosh. I know I did. I was at the end of the snake draft. I had the 11th pick, so that meant I was going to pick 11 and then pick 14th. I took DeMarcus in the first round. and I took Bosch with my next pick. On average, this guy's going in your early 20s.
Yeah.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I take him at 14th, and I'm not upset about it because I do believe that we're going to get the Chris Bosch numbers that we saw in Toronto there.
Right.
We know that he was putting up 24 and 10 before he came down and started playing with LeBron. And in fact, if you even just look at it, it's a small sample size, but in the 9 games LeBron missed and Bosch played over the last 4 years, the numbers were very similar. It was like 23, 8 and 3.
Yeah.
That's what I expect. You're going to get awesome percentages, both from the floor, the free throw line. He's going to add a 3 at the big position for you. So obviously Chris Bosch was not going to make it back to me for my 3rd pick. So did I reach a little bit? But I do expect huge numbers.
But do you think his percentages will stay the same, or do you think now there's going to be more pressure, more focus on him?
They didn't change from when he was the go-to guy in Toronto.
I know,
in
but this
terms
is
of field
different
goal
now.
percentage.
This is 4 years different.
How is it any different? He's playing on a better team still than he probably ever was with the Raptors.
Yeah.
I think he's got a bigger defensive role than he did with the Toronto Raptors, playing the center position full time. He did it a little bit with the Raps, but I think he's now their most important defensive player and offensive player. So I think the field goal percentages will come down, but if you're
he's
with
going to
that,
shoot high percentages
Yes,
anyway, but
he's
I
Chris
just think
Bosh.
they might just drop down a little bit.
I agree.
Because he's going to have more focus on him from the other teams.
Both
Lee,
ends.
what about your reach?
Well, I went for a Giannis Antetokounmpo in the 7th round. What? That's how you say his name.
of course it is.
You nailed it,
Now, I predicted this guy's going to win Most Improved, so I really had to take him here.
won't say his name.
He had 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in only 25 minutes a game last year. I know the percentages might not be there, but I honestly think this guy could go for 15 points, 8 rebounds, maybe 3 or 4 assists, and he's probably going to get 2 blocks a game just because he's so long and a couple of steals. So that's why I chose him in that spot.
And you knew, but this is the thing, because he's such a first off, a fun name.
Yeah.
And an impossible name to actually pronounce. But someone was going to take him
Absolutely,
way earlier
yeah.
than he probably was going on.
Yeah,
You
and
did.
And you were that guy.
Way too
Currently,
early.
he's my only small forward as well. So
He's your only small forward.
Oh, that's
Well,
why
no wonder you
Batum
need
fits
Batum.
that.
That's why I'm going after Batum here as well.
Okay, well, let's look at where the rookies fell in this draft. We obviously have a great crop of rookies. The class is amazing. And the big names, Jabari Parker went in the 5th round at number 56. Nerlens Noel, technically, going to still be a rookie. He goes in the 6th round at 61. And also in the 6th round, Andrew Wiggins at 67. We weren't done there, though. There were more. Later in the draft is when everyone starts going, I'll take a flyer on
Why
a rook,
not?
sure.
Yeah.
Alfred Payton with the Magic going into the 10th
Is
round.
that a hat or hair?
Dante Exum going in the 11th round, Aaron Gordon in the 12th, and Doug McDermott there in the 13th round. He was actually dropped following the draft. So if you need a small forward, Lee, go pick him
I
up.
will.
But again, 7 rookies actually being drafted, which really isn't a surprise to me.
No, but you just never know. With
Everyone gets high on the rookies,
Yes.
and just like you got high on Giannis, the second year, I think you're jumping the gun on that one. But one guy in Jabari Parker, I think he's going to fulfill everyone's expectations.
I
He's
agree.
going to be spectacular this year. You know he's going to get the minutes, unlike some of those other guys. I'm worried about Wiggins. I'm worried about Nerlens Noel getting into foul trouble. This guy, you don't have to worry.
Do you think
about.
he's going to be a 20-point-per-game scorer?
Not in his
season?
rookie
in his rookie season?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
You don't think he'll get close to that? He
16,
is going to
16
be
a game. Yeah. I
the
mean,
focus of their offense.
well, yeah, but
and
he's
we know
gonna,
the guy can score the basketball.
He's going to face the problem like a lot of rookies do, and that's hitting the wall at some point as well. So he might have those games where he gets 25 to 30 points, but he's also going to have games where he probably gets under 10.
Shoots 2 of 15.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
struggles from
So that's what you've got to gamble with a rookie.
All right, well, let's look at our entire teams here and maybe talk about some more, either regretful picks or sort of
What about
strange
regretful
things, or
Photoshops?
regretful
That's great.
photoshops.
Rudy Gobert. I mean, it doesn't get better.
Tass,
than that.
Rudy Gobert, take us through your team.
Well, I started with a lot of guards early, guard heavy. So I got to a point in the 6th round where I thought, oh my goodness, I don't have a guy who can play center. So then I got 2 centers that only have center eligibility. I hated every second of that.
Man, you went on a
Hard-
center run there.
Yeah, I had 2 hard C's followed by 3 PS/C's.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I just started drafting guys that were sort of good across the board because I didn't really have a particular game plan. Guys like Nicola Batum, Thaddeus Young. I even drafted Boris Diaw, if you remember back in the day. The Boris Diaw pick was a popular one.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely happy with Josh Smith as one of those guys. So a couple of those guys have to pan out. I'm not too upset. And then I went out and I picked up, I should say, Tony Roten, dropping Boris Diaw. Boris Diaw is such a frustrating fantasy player, as good as he is. I'm happy to get Tony Roten. I was on the waiver wire leaning forward, knowing that Michael Carter-Williams is going to be injured, picking up his replacement in Tony Roten.
I like that move. I actually was looking for Roten, but you beat me to him. Lee, here's a look at the Diaz.
Yeah, I was pretty happy overall with my start. I
have no
Westbrook
small
and
forwards,
Lillard.
though.
No, that's the problem. And then I got Kobe at third. Tim Duncan, any Spurs player is kind of frustrating because they just don't play enough minutes. I was pretty happy to get Kenneth Faried in there. Obviously, Jans, we spoke about him. And Trey Burke, I was happy to get him, 103rd pick. I think he's in for a big season.
No waiver wire work from Taz?
Not yet. No, not yet. I just like to sit on my team for the first.
Though I did hear that Lillard might be on the block. Woj tweeted something. Here's a look at the Gorgie Jengas. I went big, very big, heavy at the start of this. Cousins, Bosch, Millsap, and Jordan. And then I figured, well, my team's going to be great at field goal percentage. Let's try and get a point guard or a guard that can do the same. Tony Parker, in terms of the guard position, does shoot a really good percentage.
Yeah.
And then, then I got tired and I just started throwing darts at the board. I like the first part of my draft. Don't love the second half, and I was already making moves. Waiver wire work.
Otto Porter.
I picked up Otto Porter Jr., yes. Why are you
That's
laughing
a
at
bold
home?
pick.
I dropped Shumpert. I think actually Shumpert's going to be pretty decent, but just the Wizards are a lot of injuries to their backcourt. Otto Porter Jr. did play well, very, very well in Summer League. If he gets some minutes, he might be able to produce. It's the last pick. Who cares? Really? All right, got to take a break. Hopefully we'll continue to work on this deal here between Tass and Lee, but when we return, Lee's going to tell us why he's angry with Joe Mandy. So don't go anywhere. You're watching The Starters.
Oh, look, there's mail. We got mail. Woohoo!
Back with The Starters mailbox. First question. Hey guys, there are few things worse in fantasy ball than having a player snatched up right before it's your turn on the clock. Man, I hate that. Did any of you guys get scooped this year? That is from Ryan T. Thanks for the email, Ryan. Lee, I know you had a tough moment early in the draft, and it's still lingering with you right now.
I was a real Joe Madney when he took Andre Drummond one pick before me. I had it all lined up. I was just about to take him. I already had Lillard and Westbrook. I needed a big.
Right.
And Joe Mandy went out and took him. I panicked after that as well. Marc Gasol was still on the board, and Paul Millsap was still on the board, and I ended up taking Kobe.
Oh,
that's what happens, man.
Wow.
I know.
90-second clock comes up. What do I do? Jumps out there.
But anyway, after the draft, Joe actually offered me Kyrie Irving and Terrence Jones for Russell Westbrook. Now, I turned that down because I would have had to drop a second player anyway to make that work. So I countered, and I tried to get Andre Drummond off him. I went Westbrook and Kenneth Faried for Andre Drummond and Kyrie Irving. I think that's a fair deal, but he turned that down. So I'm still going for Andre Drummond.
Okay. Well, I also got scooped in the draft. It was in the last round. I was looking at pick 155, and my buddy Grish at 154 only, and I know only because he listens and watches the show, and we talked about our deep sleepers in a fantasy preview, took Draymond Green with the Warriors.
Oh.
Just to spite me. I don't even
with
think he likes him. He just knew I wanted him, and he took him from me.
That's part of it, though. That's part of your strategy. You've got to get under your other friend's skin.
Next question. I'm not happy about it. I really wanted him on my team. Guys, who do you see as the best player to draft who is strong in categories not typically associated with his position? Example being centers getting assists or guards getting blocks. That's from Ed A. on Facebook.
I love the centers that make threes. I've got a very three-point heavy team. We know the guys who lead the league in that category. Or Kevin Loves has center eligibility. Also Ryan Anderson. Those guys were 1-2. But a guy who gets overlooked is Channing Frye, mainly because he plays with the Orlando Magic, and you kind of forget about that. But he was number 3 in centers that make three-pointers last year. He's going to get plenty of opportunity to shoot on this team because they don't have a lot of guys that can shoot. He went late in a lot of drafts, and he's only owned in 64% of Yahoo leagues.
I like that pick.
Paul Millsap has power forward and center eligibility, and he got you almost 2 steals a game last season. Now, he had a good year. Al Horford was out. Al Horford's coming back. You think those numbers might come down. But no, he's averaged over a steal for his entire career. So Paul Millsap leads the league in power forward and center eligibility for steals.
Also a good one. I'll look at the guard position and go with Victor Oladipo with the Magic for a point guard, especially with that point guard eligibility, who gets you some blocks. It's only half a block a game last season. I actually do think that will go up a bit. It's tough to get blocks at the point guard position, but he's also, of course, going to give you the steals as well. So defensively, he's going to be really good at that position. Time for one more question. We'll make it a quickie here. Guys, some leagues have the option to count turnovers, fouls, technical fouls, and ejections as negative stats. What other negative stats do you think would be fun to add? Perhaps blocks against? Thanks. That's from Kenneth A., also through Facebook.
Kenneth, I think you covered all the negative
That's a lot of them.
stats.
Yeah, the negative stats.
So why don't we give you some positive stats that count on the basketball floor? The wedgie counts on the basketball
boy, we
floor
should have
in
known
the
it.
eyes of the starters. I mean, this
That was
is
a three-point wedgie.
yeah,
that's
we
worth more.
We're showing you some rare ones. We show you every wedgie that happens on the basketball floor throughout the year on the starters. This one, the most rare of them all, the alley-oop wedgie.
So this should count. This should be a
This
category.
is
be
positive.
great.
Yes, this should also be a category. The dive into the stands. Oh, very nice embrace by Dwayne Wade right there. This also a category. Obviously, you're showing the hustle.
The hustle, yeah.
You're knocking beers over as Jared Dudley did there.
Bonus points
yeah.
for knocking a beer over or popcorn or something like that?
Sure. I'll give you some bonus points for that.
Sure, we're
And
making the rules.
Yes, and the last one, bench cheering, because we all enjoy this.
How do you count this, though?
Yeah.
Well, you can be the Australian judge.
Like
You can judge it for us.
All
What is
right,
that?
all right.
arms
Oh,
in
yeah.
the air,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
jumping,
What are you
towel
giving that?
waving.
What are you giving
Well,
that?
there's 4 or 5 guys up. Yeah, you got to have a minimum 4 guys up.
Oh,
You get a point.
Oh, hold on.
Boozer.
Ah,
What about yelling and one? Boozer would lead the league, hands down.
I
With
don't
that.
think anyone else would even figure it.
It wouldn't even come close. All right, guys, thanks for all of those emails and posts on Facebook. Keep them coming. Got to take a break, but when we return, look, we're hammering out
Yeah.
this fantasy basketball
Let's do it,
trade.
Tassie.
We got
Let's do it.
Batum in the mix. We got Lillard in the mix.
Yeah.
Lee and Tass are going to make a fantasy trade when we return. Don't go anywhere. We're watching the starters.
Batum's going to win you weeks, Lee.
Lillard won't.
Sell them. Welcome back to the starters, where you've missed a very tense 2-minute break because I think we're just a handshake away from an actual fantasy basketball trade going
got it
down
done.
We got it done. Well
between
done, Tass.
Lee Ellis and Tass
Congratulations.
Ellis and the graphics department doing quick work. Let's take a look at the trade that literally just happened during this show. Tass, Nudie Gobert receiving Damian Lillard.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Tim-
we're going to the ship, baby.
and Tim Hardaway Jr., Lee's already shaking his head. Lee, the Diaz, receiving Nicholas Batum and Vince Carter. Lee, you got your small forwards. You only had one, now you got 3.
Yeah, that's the problem. I needed small forward, so I got Batum. I had to give up Damian Lillard. Sorry, Dame. I know you're watching.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to give him up. He was my second pick overall, but I think in the end, getting Batum coming back, and Vince Carter could be in for a big year too.
Trying to
man.
talk
I'm
yourself
trying to
into
talk-
it. You're
Tim
trying-
Hardaway's in for a big year in New York. What did I just do?
Whenever you're acquiring players because of position instead of their
I know.
talent,
I
you're
know.
doomed.
I know. And I had to. You can't go into a season with one player in one position.
That is
Panic.
tough. Let's hear what the people think. Hashtag the starters. Who won this trade? Is it Nudie Gobert or is it the Diaz?
I'm going to get Lillard back before the end of the season.
I like that a Blazer went for a Blazer there. I have to admit, I
This
do
trade
like
because
that.
of my name.
All right, guys, good stuff. I think we just made history by doing that. All right,
Oh.
on Monday,
What a
come on
move.
back. The starter season preview, part 9. 6th man of the year. Who will win the NBA championship? And a special guest in the hot seat. Who could it be? So again, that is on Monday, where we'll wrap up the 72 burning questions of the upcoming NBA season.
We are oh so close to that NBA season happening. Thanks for joining us today. And remember, if you don't want to eat vegetables, it's your buck choice.
Embrace the night, people. Lee, let's
Yeah.
make a trade.
Right, who do you want?
As now I want to get in on
All
the
right,
action.
Kobe.
Predicting.
I'll give you Kobe. You give me Lance. I need a bit more.
Lance for Kobe?
No, you give me something
I'll
else.
shake your hand right now for that.
I'll give you Kobe and Ben McLemore for Lance and George Hill.
Oh, you know his roster off by